I found it. I will make two. I must burn the rope that Lupin strung between the jewels. I will have enough gunpowder to blast open one locker. I must be sure of which one. Open. This haggis is fresh and supple. This must be the key to the... Smith looks to be unconscious. Is there a chance of waking him up? Water. That's That's it. Hickman fell asleep quite gradually, probably under the effect of a strong narcotic.
Smith, wake up. Do you hear me, Smith?
My head. What's going on?
Listen, Smith, pull yourself together and come here. Can you open this grill?
My keychain has
Fine. In that case, I'll need your help. We'll need to find a way to get you out of...
Well, early in the afternoon, the few men who were still present in the rampart were taken sick, with awful stomach aches. Must have been something in yesterday. He hasn't been around for long, but I've heard good things about him. In examining the first man, he appeared alarmed. The doctor was vexed, as he didn't have enough medication to administer a full dose, but he assured me it would be enough. After
I am beginning to see.
I really don't know.
The label is damaged and the water would have washed out any remaining substance.
But what are you doing here?
I assume that the guards who were watching the crown jewels were all...
Yes, and the only key
I must help you out of here. Is there another key to...
The cook has one, but he's out. However, I think I had a spare key to the guardroom maid, and it wasn't on my chain.
Liquid has a strong smell, so perhaps I would be able to find something useful in this.
This dish is empty, but might work.
This helmet stand is quite singular, sturdy.
This serves to store the exact quantity.
Look, this warder must have lost this key. If I am to believe the tag on his uniform, this warder is called Summerby. Small, dry pieces of... This may prove to be used. This may prove to be used.
Take this file, it's all that I could find. Is there any way to enter the jewel house without a key?
No, not with...
In that case, I'll have to find one. I would not trifle with such a serious matter as this.
The munitions are found in the armory, at the top of the staircase heading to the White Tower, the centre.
Pray, release yourself as quickly as possible. Go find the key and open the door of the armory for...
My daughter just finished knitting.
She should start knitting another, because before entering the jewel house...
Now I must find some fuel for my hot air balloons. I must release my hot air balloons in precise order. I must burn the rope that Lupin strung between the jewel house. I will ignite my balloons as soon as I release them. Watch out, they're off. The rope must have been somewhat damaged to no longer... Let's see if Smith has been able to get out. Closed. 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 Closed.
I've been working as quickly as I could, but my old...
While I'm taking care of the robber, you'll need to get to the base of Big...
But what are they doing?
Enough already. Enough.
Prime...
Where is he then, this Lupin?
I've just done my round. You wouldn't believe, but there's a mob of
Well, that takes the biscuit.
It's not surprising. Half the force has been kicking their heels in front of big...
Journalists, a mob.
What now, Doctor?
Inspector, check the identities of the journalists. Lupin has previously discussed...
Well played, Doctor. I'm on it.
Lupin has previously disguised himself as a...
Ah, well,
This may prove to be useful. Curious, one of these glasses which... This thick cover could support...
A small barrel of powder.
These cannonballs have a diameter of 2.5 inches. These cannonballs have a diameter of 2.5 inches. These cannonballs have a diameter of 2 inches. These cannonballs have a diameter of 2 3/4 inches. These cannonballs have a diameter of 3 1/4 inches. These cannonballs have a diameter of 2.5 inches. These cannonballs are very heavy. This may prove to be useful. This cannon is heavy, but I will be able to push it. Now I can push it to the door of the... The stairs are preventing me from getting... There, the door is dismantled. There, the door is dismantled. Now I must... No, the door will be of little use here. No, the door will be of little use here. I need something. There, the door is dismantled. Now I must find the appropriate location where I should place it. Elementary. There, now I am in firing position, and it... I must decant the proper amount of powder into this receptacle and pour it into the cannon. I must have made a mistake. I must decant the proper amount of powder into this receptacle and pour it. I must decant the proper amount of powder into this receptacle and pour it into the cannon. Elementary. There, now I am in firing position, and there's nothing more to do but load this cannon. I need something. There, now I am in firing position, and I need something. Elementary. There, now I am in firing position, and there's nothing more to do but load this cannon. I need something. There, now I am in firing position. I need something. Elementary. There, now I am in firing position, and there's nothing more to do but load this cannon. I need something.
If I were you, Lupin, I wouldn't take that path. As you can surmise by the plumes of smoke emanating from the rope originating from this window, it, let's say, suffered by my hand, and there is no chance that it'll support your weight nor the items that I imagine you to be carrying.
You impress me, Mr. Holmes. You see, I concocted this plan with such thoroughness and, I'm sure you'll agree, a fair amount of genius, such that I was saddened that none would see it as I brought it to fruition. And yet, there you were from the first. A bit too close for comfort, wasn't it? And if you are here, it's because you must have searched, and most certainly found all of the parts of the puzzle, down to the smallest detail. And I can't but congratulate you on your performance. I am a gentleman, Mr. Holmes, and even if I didn't always show good sportsmanship during this adventure, my sense of honor obliges me to acknowledge your victory tonight. As someone who never knew defeat before meeting you, I would like to express my admiration and how honored I am that you not only played this game with me, but won also.
You should, Monsieur Lupin, understand that I share your admiration and know that if you're giving me the honor of the victory tonight, it was yours the last 4 times.
Your intelligence has no equal apart from your sense of chivalry, Mr. Holmes. You know as well as I do, those were but a few minor obstructions, and whoever wins the final battle takes the war.
Despite everything, our camp suffered some losses, the gravity of which could have been fatal if they had been made public. No one, myself included, would have come out of a Pyrrhic victory unscathed.
I betrayed myself by doing anything that could have harmed your reputation. I am duty-bound to you, Mr. Holmes, and I will accept your conditions, even if they dishonor me, as long as they don't dishonor my country.
You managed, thanks to your remarkable intelligence, to deny me any margin of maneuverability, to decide in advance should we find ourselves in the situation in which we are. It was a chess match, and there is nothing remaining on the table but the 2 kings. This is a classic stalemate, wouldn't you agree?
You will find at this address a master's painting, a great rock, and a few birds. As for what Her Majesty wished for me, I had no choice but to give it to her at that very instant. Once again, I am at a loss for words to express the pleasure that I took from this adventure with you. Even if it costs me, I promise, on my honor, that I will never publicize the account of what took place.
We shall not meet again, my friend, but know that during the past few days, your presence in our soil did as much honor to your country as ours. Safe journey, Monsieur Lupin.
What? You'll let him leave like that?
What choice did I have, Watson? Look at the whole picture. Lupin's real intent was to steal the crown jewels. The goal of all the other thefts was to provide a sort of insurance in the case of failure, and, above all, to ensure the services of a plethora of accomplices. Us.
Us? Accomplices? I admit that I was fooled once, but I didn't steal anything.
From the moment we read Lupin's first letter, we became his accomplices. In fact, by having us play his game, Lupin was conditioning us. After the first theft, he left clues leading us to the second, from the second to the third. So well that as the second to last theft, we were convinced that Lupin's final target would be Big Ben. Lupin knew that the authorities, headed by the Prime Minister himself, would align themselves with the only person who could sort out Lupin's schemes as they happened: myself. Therefore, in controlling me, he was controlling all of London's police force, and he nearly succeeded.
Then why not simply steal the jewels to begin with? Why this whole masquerade?
I've just explained it, Watson. In order to steal the crown jewels, Lupin had to accomplish certain preliminaries. In the first place, he had to be assured that the garrison would be only minimally guarded on the night of the theft. Therefore, he started using a disguise, of course, by getting rid of the garrison's usual doctor, by giving him a free trip to the continent. He also befriended the cook under another identity, while the cook was out on the town. Thus, he was able to suggest a specific recipe for a specific date, the eve of the jewel theft. Then he went to nab the ravens. The effects of this theft permitted him to first create an inauspicious event that forced a reduction in the size of the garrison so that the news wouldn't spread. Second, to have access to the storeroom in order to poison the tomatoes that were going to be used in the recipe that he gave to the cook. Third, to pose as Paul Cernin, that doctor who would be called in the case of emergency. Fourth, given that a theft had already taken place at the Tower of London, we would have had to have bats in the belfry to think that there would be another. Lupin also needed to get the police out of the area, which happened as I already explained.
I understand, but what of the other thefts?
A part of the process of conditioning, they caused us to put little weight on the theft in the Tower of London. If that had been the only prelude, we would have taken more time to ponder the clues and find Lupin's true intentions. Yet this time he didn't leave it up to us. And so, like I told you, these thefts were his insurance. Lupin had beaten us 4 times on the battlefield of English honour, such as he had suggested to us in his letter. Our pride in not bringing our defeats public was our sin, and it made us prisoners of his game. If he had proven beaten, he could have profited from the restitution of the objects, the price of his silence regarding our failures and the true value of our police. A discreet release was a small price to pay with regards to an affront of international scope. Do not forget that the Queen herself is implicated.
Indeed. It is, moreover, a matter of conscience for me. When I write this adventure, I do not think
But there's no question, Watson. You cannot write about it. You promised before God that you wouldn't.
But, Holmes...
Your word is your bond. In any case, you wouldn't want to relate the ignoble theft that you committed, that of my Order of the Legion of Honor.
Holmes, you know that.
It's in the past, Watson. It's in the past. Incidentally, a young woman came by to return it a few moments ago. She wanted to deliver it to you directly. She seemed to know you well. A young woman who can be found at the Golden Lion, am I right? She doesn't seem like your usual client, unless, of course, you were the client in this case. What do you say, Watson?